coming up next, I'm going to compare the two Gris Charnels from BDK. The, of course, one that came out a couple years ago, the original, and the new Extrait version that just was released. Just had a party here at Osme a couple days ago. The founder, David, of the company, and contestants, the distributors, learned a lot about the fragrances. And I'm gonna kind of smell the two right now and pick my favorite from the two coming up next. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose. And as you saw at the outset of the video here, I'm going to be comparing today a little versus, which I haven't done in a while, Gris Charnel or Gris Charnel, the original, versus Gris Charnel Extrait, right there. So again, the original Gris Charnel, boom, 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 versus the Extrait version that was just released, in the last month. So, if you look at this, you look at these fragrances, the note breakdown is very similar. Right off the bat, the major difference is the level of concentration of perfume oils. So the Extrait version has a 30%. Not exactly sure what the original is, guessing probably around 20%. So they upped the concentration level. And whenever you do an Extrait version, a lot of perfume houses, especially niche perfume houses, like to do that when they have a successful original. The Gris Charnel, just for those of you who don't know, maybe a lot of you do, is the most popular selling from the BDK line. Talking with, again, the owner, David, here a couple days ago, and the distributors, this is by far their best selling. I'm holding up the Extrait. The original is the best selling in the BDK line. It's extremely popular. A lot of you guys, again, if you don't know the note breakdown, this is one that it starts out with kind of like a spicy fresh cardamom and fig note, which gives a little bit of a greenness, and black tea. And then you have an iris and bourbon vetiver, and then a sandalwood and tonka bean. So again, very classic French perfume, very sensual perfume, very Parisian perfume is what, again, David, the owner, was going after. Whenever you have a really popular fragrance like that, then it makes sense from an economic standpoint, financial standpoint, and a business standpoint to make an Extrait version and see how people like it. It's going to be interesting to see how it sells. I'm going to give you my opinion at the end. So just to go over some of the differences of the Extrait, other than the 30%, they also add in some iris. You get a little bit of cedar, some vanilla, and then I think one of the big differences is the patchouli in the base, which in my mind gives it just a whole different kind of kick, especially as this fragrance starts to dry down. In the times I've been wearing it, I've worn it about 4 or 5 times now. So I'm just going to give kind of like a little impression here and spray it right here for you guys on each of my hands, which are clean. So actually, let me go back to the sorry, phones are always ringing. Let's go to the original here. Okay, so just so you see, I have the original Gris Charnel. I'm going to go right on my left hand. And so yeah, for me, the first thing I get on the original is that cardamom. It's that kind of spiciness. It's also black tea. So to me, I really get a lot of the black tea. I've been kind of fooling around in my own laboratory in my house with a green tea fragrance. It kind of has a very similar smell to this, so that my nose is very sensitive to those kind of tea notes. But it's very green. To me, the opening of Gris Charnel is very green because of, obviously, the fig note and the cardamom. Now let me go for the spray here with the, as you can see again, the Extrait version right there. And it's immediately a smokier, woodier, deeper, more intense fragrance. So Extrait and Original. The Original, again, is going to be a little bit more lighter. I think the Extrait is going to be a little bit more of a nighttime date fragrance. The Original is probably going to be a little bit more of a versatile fragrance. When you have a higher concentration, by the way, for example, in the Extrait, usually what that means is, and on my skin, I can attest to this, I get a longer wearing. It's not usually project as much because you have more heavier base notes which sit more on your skin, and they release, base notes release and evaporate more slowly on your skin, and that's why they last longer versus the top notes, which are going to evaporate more quickly and release, and that's what you smell more quickly. So this, to me, and what I've noticed so far, I get an extra, I would say I get about 10 hours, 11 hours of wearing from the Extrait versus about 9 hours roughly average on my skin for the Original. Obviously both exemplary performances for either one that you're looking at. But other than, of course, at the dry down, I mean, the opening with the Extrait being smokier, the dry down with the vanilla, it really brings out, I gotta say, I think it really brings out the vetiver and the iris, which is kind of a new element. And the cedar mixes so well with sandalwood. Cedar is one of my favorite notes, so I love that they added cedar into it. It's, that combined with the vanilla just gives it that kind of sweet smokiness. And the patchouli, for those of you that are patchouli fans, the fact that they added that in here, I think is a home run. So again, both wonderful fragrances. The Gris Charnel, again, the most popular in the line, by far the best selling of all their fragrances, although there's some that are close behind, but it's still been #1 since it was released a couple years ago. I think about 3 years ago now, 2019. So in the end, let me pick for you guys. Let's get to the end of this video here. What would I pick as far as what I would wear now on a more regular basis? If I had to pick between the two, again, I like both a lot. I recommend either one. You got to try both because they're going to hit different occasions for you. They're going to perform a little bit differently. They're going to be, again, the Extrait's a little bit smokier, a little bit darker, and the Original's a little bit lighter, a little bit greener. So take your pick, whatever you like. This is my pick, what I recommend, what I like personally between the two. Dun, 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 dun. The big reveal is the new one. I'm going to go with the Extrait version. Again, to me, I love a concentrated perfume. 30% to me is a perfect concentration level. Again, I've been fooling around making my own fragrances and perfumes now for a couple years, and I almost always use a 30% concentration. I just think it gives you the perfect combination of longevity, performance, and richness, and just, depth to the perfume that a lower concentration doesn't give, and a higher concentration can be too dense. So there you go. My pick. I think it's a winner. I think it's going to be a very, very popular fragrance for the BDK line and a great addition. The Gris Charnel Extrait. Let me know what you guys think. Have you tried it yet? For those of you who have the Original, you're definitely going to want to get your nose on the Extrait version. And if you have, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the differences, the additions of some of the notes, and put it in the comments below. Let's get some good conversation going on this. Thank you again, guys, for watching and supporting. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace, love, and perfumes.